All right, looks like I'm going to be able to do at least a little bit of Bunker Live. Um, got basically a band-aid on my solar power system right now. The sun is out, it's bright and shiny, but I couldn't get the power to come up today, and so I went and looked, and one of the cables had, hello, Alan, had rotted through or eroded through overnight, I guess, and so batteries aren't charging too well. I kind of did a band-aid on it, but I'm still not getting much power in. So I'm going off my little power box. Hopefully we're going to eke out enough power as I do this to just be able to keep broadcasting, but we'll see. Have no idea. So howdy everybody, glad you could be here. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody's being able to learn something and grow and help and whatever else it is. As you come in, say hi in the chat section, the comment section. Just say howdy or whatever. Type in a question or comment. The faster and earlier you get comments in, the better this whole thing's going to be. Do you have some comments? Things I want to talk about, but I'm really here for whatever you guys want to talk about. So, and I'm using my little Samsung tablet because I don't have enough power to charge my laptop. So we are band-aiding it. This is like a MASH 4077 emergency broadcast. My allergies are still really, really flared up, as you can see. And I thank you all for everybody making suggestions on that. I've tried just about everything. The only thing that has ever worked is a 7-day fast. And so I've got that on the schedule. Hello, Terry. Hello, Heidi. Sorry about messages coming in. And so I've tried local honey. Local honey, you got to take it like every day for like a year and a half, and I don't have the ability to do that. It isn't always on my diet, but it's also quite expensive. Um, and then it can lighten the episodes and all that, but I've tried just about everything. So I've got a 7-day fast coming up that I'm hoping will knock it out again. So you say the picture is blurry. If anybody else is seeing a blurry picture, let me know. If not, that could be something to do with your system, Terry. You guys let me know if the sound's good, if the audio, the video is good. I don't know why your picture would be blurry. That probably didn't help. I've got a little bit of a glare coming in. We'll try that. So anyways, I've tried everything on the allergies. I tried to get completely cold turkey off of any ibuprofen. I mean, excuse me, Benadryl or any of that kind of stuff. And cedar trees, yeah, that's always a problem. I have really bad cedar allergies. Usually mine go from October to February. I've actually had this particular uh, allergy problem that I'm having now, where it's infected my face and everything, is basically for the last year. I had some type of reaction last summer. Some of you guys may remember that I thought was poison ivy, and it very well may have been poison ivy. That got into my face and my head and my eyes, and then that kind of slowly went away. But this part right here, and it's definitely a histamine reaction. I get a histamine reaction, so it could be. Somebody asked if it was diet. Um, yeah, it could be. What it could be is that my diet is causing inflammation, and then I'm having a environmental reaction to something that's in the air. I don't know. All I know is I've had allergies since about 2005, really bad, and I did a 7-day fast 2017, knocked them out for a whole year, had no problem. Have not been able to do a 7-day fast since then. I've done a lot of 4-day and 3-day and 2-day and all that, sometimes twice a week, but I probably need to do a 7-day water fast, and I'll try that pretty soon. I've got one scheduled here in the next 2 weeks, so hopefully that'll work out. That's it talking about me. So I wanted to talk a little bit about things this morning. Danielle and I got up. Of course, I'm always up doing my stuff, but we early went in with Robert, take Robert to work. Um, for now, he's kind of considered an essential employee, I guess, since he's doing infrastructure work on fiber optic stuff. But we took him into work so we could use the truck. Went to town, went to the store, not really to buy anything, just kind of wanted to scout it out, see what was going on, see what the feeling was like, see what was available. So I wrote a little report on that on Facebook this morning, but some things I wanted to kind of note. Uh, there were no eggs. There was meat, which they had been out of meat last week, um, but the meat was very expensive. Usually there's something on sale, whether it's, chicken or, and I'm talking about fresh meat. Nothing was on sale and it was all very expensive. And I understand why that is. But if you want meat, at least here it's available. It's just it's very expensive. No eggs. A lot of the regular milk was not uh, doing very good in stock, but there was other dairy. A lot of the really good dairy products that people should be buying. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, everybody. If I missed you, say hi. Um, the good stuff, the really like heavy nutrition and good calories, like yogurts, healthy yogurts, and cheeses, and things like cottage cheese, plentiful, a lot of it there. The thing that still gets me is there's a lot of hello Wendy, hello Stefan, is that there's a lot of smoked meat that is pretty much shelf stable, will last a really really long time. That's available, inexpensive. Nobody's buying it. People are generally continuing to buy things that are empty calories and a lot of bread, biscuits, stuff like that, flour, rather than the stuff that's in the store that's actually shelf stable plus has a lot of vitamins in it. I wanted to address the eggs thing because I'm hearing this from all over and I'm getting people contact me with information. Eggs are, I guess, and you guys can report here in the comment section. And I understand if you have eggs, we have eggs from our chickens, and I understand if you get them from your neighbor. That's not particularly helpful for you just to tell me that you have eggs or that you're getting the eggs from your neighbor. What I'm hearing is that the stores don't have eggs, and the eggs are selling out very very quickly, and they've restricted how many eggs you can buy and all that kind of stuff. And so I got contacted yesterday. I'm going to be writing an article for a online gun magazine. I'm very excited about, and one of those the article is really one of those things you can do right now. And so as we were leaving the store, I looked at, they have a big bulletin board, and someone had put a big sign on the bulletin board. It was the most notable thing, and it said, "Want to buy laying hens." Good luck on that one. I hope you find some, but I can't imagine anybody selling laying hens right now. Perhaps somebody foresaw this happening and when, and got a bunch of hens over the winter, or a bunch of chicks over the winter and growing them up, and they're going to have laying hens. I still can't imagine it, but the eggs are so valuable, even just for your neighbors and your family and all that. I can't imagine anybody selling laying hens right now, but perhaps there's somebody out there that's doing it. But I wanted to give you some ideas on things that you should be doing and you can do. I don't have any real solutions for you to get eggs right now immediately. There's enough food that I've seen in the grocery stores. Hopefully, you're putting in gardens. You absolutely should be putting in a garden no matter where you live, even if it's container gardening. I was at Home Depot the other day, tons of seeds, tons of plants. Everywhere we've been has had their regular spring plants out. Seen no run on that, no shortage on that. Get you some plants in. Don't really focus on the stuff people normally focus on, which like tomatoes that are not going to be available till the end of the summer. And I have a principle I'm going to get to in just a minute, so don't tune out. Make sure you're listening. But so where was I? Talking about eggs. Forgot my train of thought. Hello, John. Hello, Sylvia. Yeah, eggs can be plentiful in some places, but I'm hearing from all over the place that the eggs are not available. So, anyways, as far as the gardens go, you want to make sure that you're getting your garden in. There's things that you can do right now that are very, very valuable for you to be doing. Don't kill your dandelions. Start order some books from the last video. Get you a good library of how to do stuff, so you'll have that. Eggs are in light supply here in Southern California, but they are available, especially from local egg stands. And that's the thing I was going to tell people you might be able to do. If in your area you have a shortage of eggs, contact the person. If you can get a hold of the person that runs a local farmer's market, a lot of times they'll have a list of providers, and a lot of farmers markets are not open yet. They don't open till April, May, June. I think the farmers market here is scheduled to open like June 6th. And so contact them, and they may have a list of people last year who were participating who sell eggs, and those people might be selling eggs and you just don't know about it. Alan Whitaker said, we're selling some 18 to 24 month hens. We have a huge surplus of eggs, have a market for 30 dozen a week. Wow. Oh yeah, so y'all can contact Alan if you're local to him. Let people know where you are, Alan. Putting out cabbage slips today. There are people. Don't butcher your hens. Just let people in the area know that you have them first. That would be the best thing. If there is a grocery store around you, put a sign up that you have hens that are laying. I would hate to see you butcher them if somebody could use them. I would say in this area where there's almost never any. I live in a very hunting heavy area. There's not a lot of farming here. There are people that raise eggs in backyards and stuff like that, but it's always hit or miss. At the farmer's market, there's usually 2 or 3 people that have 2 or 3 dozen eggs, but very few people that are selling massive amounts of it. So I think around here, getting laying hens is going to be difficult. Anyways, Alan, put in where you are. If somebody's close to you, they might be able to get hold of that and buy some of that stuff from you. So one of the things you can do is contact the farmers market people. You could put a sign up near the store. That's something that's going to be a way that people are communicating, is putting up a sign, or if they have a community bulletin board about what's available. So we were walking out, we saw the sign about laying hens. Here's the advice I want to tell you, and the principle is that what we're going through right now could be it. That's 10% possibility. This is it. This is as bad as it gets. And it's going to get better in the summer, and it's all going to be behind us. Now, I don't believe that's what's going to happen, but that could happen, and so I'm making allowance for it. What's very likely to happen is that we're going to see a respite in the summer. Things are going to relax a little bit, especially where we are, and then things are going to get worse in the fall. And there are a lot of people that experts, scientists that are saying this. Your planning right now is not for right this minute. Some things right this minute are just going to be unavailable. Your planning right now is for the fall and winter. If you are not thinking about the fall and winter, then I hate to tell you, but it's very likely you're going to fail. Maybe nothing happens. 10%, I think, possibility that everything goes back to normal. I'm happy if that happens. I got a movie deal in the works. I want everything to go back to normal. But if it does not, then it's very likely things are going to get worse in the fall. And so please be thinking. The things that I'm telling you to do, some of them are not going to help you right now, but be thinking. Your survival homesteading library, your gardens, things that are available right now, canning stuff. I meant to mention this book yesterday, but I'll put this in the comment section on YouTube. This is a neighbor of mine, Shannon Stonger, has a book called Traditionally Fermented Foods. Fermenting foods that you're growing right now or this spring is a great way to preserve food without using a lot of energy, without using canning. But you do want the canning jars, and canning jars are still available. We just received some in the mail yesterday. So this book, Traditionally Fermented Foods by Shannon Stonger, is a great book. But you need to be thinking about ways that you can preserve food if you have a garden into the fall and winter. So here's a plan for you for eggs and chicken. If you're not living around Allen, then what you want to do is you want to find out who the person in your area is, like me, who has chickens and has eggs, but maybe not doesn't have any available right now. We all have the ability now, hopefully, to hatch out eggs, and that's one thing we're going to be doing heavily this spring is hatching out chicks so that we have a whole lot available in the fall. You want to meet these people right now. You want to let them know that you're a supporter, that you're somebody that wants to be a friend to them. If you can pay them in advance, a lot of people are about to have money with no products. A lot of you, I'm not going to get any, but a lot of you are about to get a big check from the government. There's a principle about thinking about your future and thinking outside the box. And one thing you can do is you can help these people right now, and then they'll see you as an ally and a friend now. And then when things get allergies, when things get difficult again in the fall, which is very possible, then these people will see you as an ally. They'll see you as somebody that helped them, somebody that made contact with them, that supported them, and you're going to be on their list to get hens or eggs come fall. Alan right now has hens. He's got eggs. Hopefully that's going to continue, but none of us are guaranteed that any of these things are going to continue. You need to be thinking right now about what's going to happen in the fall and the winter. The ceteris paribus fallacy, which is that all things are just, whatever's going on right now is the worst it's going to get. That fallacy is ripe. I see people saying, oh, I hope we learn something from this. Oh, I hope things are going to change after this. Oh, we've learned a lesson about storing toilet paper. Oh, you can write off 99.9% of that. I have been through enough of these things to see people go right back to the way they were living. They go right back to the way they were doing things. You need to be different, and so you need to be thinking about things. Your meat supply needs, I'm not telling anybody to stop doing what you've been doing that's working. I'm telling you have to think in layers. You have to think in redundancy. You need to go meet a farmer who sells grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Even if they don't have any right now, meet them, help them, pre-buy things so that they have, good morning, Pat, pre-buy things so that they have money to be able to build their resource. This neglect of the local farmer in exchange for the corporate industrial farmer has got to stop. Our dependency on the just-in-time system, the idiocy that I see, somebody will post Michael Bunker talking about the just-in-time system, and somebody will go, the just-in-time system is wonderful. It's wonderful. It is wonderful as long as it works. A parachute is wonderful, but wouldn't you like to have a spare or a backup? Learn, and a lot of the eggs that you're going to get from the local farmer are 1,000 times better than the eggs you're getting from the store. Why not build that relationship right now? So building these relationships, go to the farmer's market, find out who the farmer's market people are, find out who's producing things, who's producing nonsense to sell, and who's producing actual stuff from the ground. Wealth comes from the ground. Find these people, help them, financially support them now, even if they can't help you right now, and you will be helped in exchange. Problems cannot be solved at the same level of awareness that created them. Thank you. Hello, Mike. This is like Bunker Principle Part 2. So go back and watch my video. If you're on YouTube, I'll try to link to it below, called The Bunker Principle. And the Bunker Principle is that we have, and I'm going to go through it here real quickly. You have layers of ways to do things. Everybody should have 3, at least, layers or ways to do everything that's mission critical to you. If it's mission critical that you eat or cook or have light or whatever it is, you have 3 ways to do it. The first way is the way that you're doing it now, which is a grid-based way to do it. For example, a electric range for cooking food, an oven, whatever. The second way is an off-grid way. An off-grid way would be a propane stove, a propane barbecue grill in your backyard with propane to run it so that you can cook if the electricity goes out. The third way is a primitive way that you've learned in practice, such as a fire pit, something like that, where you can cook, heat water, boil water if you don't have access to propane. You take this principle and you apply it to everything, every single thing. Hello, Richard. So whether it's water purification, food preservation, any heating, lighting, you have 3 ways. You should not just rely on electric light at your house. You have a first level, which is your electric light. Your second level might be kerosene lanterns, because kerosene lanterns, although they are off grid, you can't produce your own kerosene. They're not going to be indefinitely if we go into a long dark nuclear winter. And then a third level, which can be making your own candles, fat lamps, which I need to do another video on it. But there are other ways to provide light that don't require and that can use resources that you have. And so one thing my wife does, and I have a whole video on candles. Please go watch it. YouTube, just do Michael Bunker candle search. And one thing my wife does is she goes into the thrift store and nobody buys them. You can get bags of candles for $1 or $2. We keep all of the wax left over from candles. She melts that down. We have just tons. I probably have some right around here. Blocks of wax. Store that. Store wax. Candle wick. Do a quick, and I have a little tutorial on making candles in an emergency, and you can have light. This next step down from that is a fat lamp, which you can use your baking grease, or you can use any other type of fat to make light. All right. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, everyone. For the first time, I've recently sourced meat from my local butcher and got eggs from my local stand. Wonderful. Not only are you going to be healthier and in better shape, but you are helping your community. Your community will be stronger. I'm not telling people stop buying stuff at the store. There's a binary mindset where when you say something, they turn this one off and he's saying stop buying things at the store. What happens when our stores go out of business? I'm not saying to stop doing anything. There's a lot of things you should stop doing. A lot of things. You should stop using hand sanitizer. But I'm not saying stop using hand sanitizer. I'm saying use soap and water. That's what I'm saying. What things do you suggest most important to plant in a garden? You want things to start off with a small area that are going to be your things that come up quickly. Things like broccoli or cabbage, a lot of greens. Greens, especially in our area, Don, a lot of times will go year round. So you want to plant a lot of greens. You want not your lightweight greens, such as, a lot of salad greens are really lightweight with not a lot of nutrition. You want to plant things like turnip greens, collard greens, even kale. And you can have those other greens too. You definitely want to put in this area, you want to put in squash and zucchini because they grow great here throughout the heat of the summer. Okra is something you could put in now. And then you start, if you want to put in onions, if you want to put in those type of things, you can put those in if you've got space, or you can interplant them in some cases. But right now you want to get those things in that are going to come up the quickest, they're going to provide food. Definitely then put in green beans. Green beans can be highly productive. They can produce for most of the summer. Sometimes you can get 2 crops. In other words, you can put in green beans and black beans or something like that. You can harvest them and you can get a second crop out of them. And these are things that you can, you can dry, you can store. You don't have to have a canning thing. I can't think of the word. Pressure canner. It's great if you do, but you can dry these things in the sun, and you can put them in a jar rehydrate them when you want to eat them, and you still have all the vitamins and minerals. But green beans are great because you can produce a lot of food over a summer. I'm almost certain. I'm not certain. I'm not gambling and I'm not betting with anybody's life, but I am almost certain you are going to need these resources come the fall and the winter. I'm also almost certain, because I know human nature, that when things lighten up a little bit here, when the weather warms up and the restrictions get lessened and the stores get full again, you're going to see a rush of people that do go out and buy the same things they've been buying, which are not long-term survival wise. So people are going to stock up on toilet paper. They're going to stock up on powdered milk. They're going to stock up on empty calories, macaroni, stuff like that. And they're not going to be doing the things that I'm telling you to do. The things you should be doing: plant a garden, get some production. If you can get chickens, get some chickens and go make friends with a local farmer, somebody who has eggs, somebody who produces meat. I can tell you right now, and I'm not telling people to come to me. I'm saying if somebody came to me and they said, hey, uh, love what you're doing, want to support it. Maybe in the fall you can think of us when it comes to selling eggs, selling hens, selling meat. I have cattle, I have pigs. Uh, what we want to do is support what you're doing. Here's $100, here's $50. Hopefully you'll remember us come in the fall, whatever. Or if you want to write it down, what you expect to get in the fall. I think most people that are like me, which are small producers, would love to have those resources available right now. I can plant more, I can get more chicks in, I can produce more if people were supporting it. And so that's what I would highly recommend you do. When I say count your chickens, you need to be counting chickens for the fall and the winter. You need to be thinking about eggs for the fall and the winter. Not a whole lot you can do right now, but there are the suggestions that I made of things that you can do right now. And so right now I want to open it up to questions. If you have questions, please type them into the comment section. If this is not live, if you're watching this on YouTube, just please go into the comment section, write down questions. I can do them on the next the next video. I'm hoping to do a live video on YouTube. I've just never been able to really work it out with my technology. If for some reason this thing goes off, it'll be because I lost power. It looks like I still don't have the power working properly, but I'm going to keep going until that happens, or until whatever time. So if you got questions, right now is the time to type them in. And please realize you're helping other people when you type in questions. So just sitting here and not hoping somebody else is going to ask a question or have a topic is probably not altogether community-wise. But what do you think about store-bought dehydrated supplies like the Mountain House stuff? I think they're fine if you have the money and if you have the resources. For most people, they're expensive per calorie. But I don't have a problem with them. All of these things are a stopgap. I'm not a prepper per se, and I've talked about this before because I've kind of moved beyond that. Anything that you buy and store, all it does is extend your ability to remain stable and to help yourself and others X days. So I have no problem with that. I have a problem with people going out and spending $10, $15, $20,000 on food supplies and then not doing the things that they should be doing about creating a more stable, long-lasting, sustainable system of food production. In the long run of things, you or somebody near you has to produce. We cannot have a nation of consumers and then expect when something like this happens to be able to turn around on a dime and produce the things that we need to survive. I'm going to be happy as a peach when everything hopefully comes back online, the stores are stocked full again, and we can go on. I really hope we've learned something, but I do not believe it's going to last indefinitely that way. I have been telling people for 20 years that these interruptions happen. They are historical, they are trackable, they are predictable. They've happened several times all over the world just during your lifetime, and here's one that's happening all over the world at the same time. This is something I've been telling people. I'm not saying I told you so. I did. Good morning, Mark. But I'm saying take the opportunity to learn what you need to learn And one of the things we need to learn is we cannot be a nation of only consumers. Even if you produce something small, even if you get 5 hens or 6 hens in your backyard, and you uh, grass feed them, and you learn a little bit about that, and you get a couple of eggs a day, the amount of stability that adds is way more than the amount of energy that goes into it. And so start thinking about things like that. Think about the bunker principle. Think of everything that you do. Think of things that might be considered not mission critical. For me, they are, like coffee. What am I going to do? What will I do if I can't use the electric range to make coffee? How am I going to heat up my child's food if I don't have the electric range? Everybody should, especially if you live in a town or you live in a suburb, you need to think about getting, and you probably already have one, a propane grill. You might want to get a charcoal grill too. You don't have to burn charcoal in there. If you have a tree that drops branches and drops limbs, drops pecan hulls, there are things you can make fire out of in a charcoal grill that you can use to heat up water, that you can use to cook in an emergency. You have to start thinking about these things now. Do not make the mistake that most people are going to make, and that is thinking that, well, we got home delivery of margaritas. The governor of Texas just allowed that we can go now, which why this was ever illegal to begin with is beyond me. You can go buy food supplies, meat and vegetables from a restaurant near you. They're now in Texas are able to sell directly to the customer in the packaging that they get it from their supplier. These things are great, but buying things in and of itself does not fix the problem. Buying things in itself gives you X amount of days of help, but it doesn't fix the problem. The solution is to produce something. And everybody can do a garden, even if you got an apartment. Everybody can plant some things. Everybody, I've known people that have grown orange trees and lime trees in their house, and they just put the tree out on the patio when the sun's out. There's just tons of stuff that you can do that's productive, that produces something. When you become a producer, which means you're not just consuming, you're not just a cog, a specialist cog in the system, you become a problem solver, you become a benefit, you're a plus on the logbook of life, and not I don't know anything about accounting, not a negative, right? All right, everybody, type in questions if you have any. I wanted to tell everybody all the stuff that I'm doing, which is a lot of answering questions, private mail, private email, all that. I've been doing some interviews for podcast and all that. I just got asked to do a article on 7 or 10 things you can do right now for a gun magazine. I'm doing all these videos almost every day, answering a lot of questions. I'm doing this all for free because I want to be able to help people. If you want to help me, you can donate whatever you can to help. I'm going to put some links down in the comment section on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, I put a post up just a little while ago. The easiest way to donate is just do it through private messenger. There's no fee either direction, and the money is available immediately. So 100% of the money doesn't goes to me rather than goes to Facebook. You can also donate through PayPal. Just private message me on Facebook, and you can do it through PayPal. I'll let you know. My Facebook, if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, my Facebook is facebook.com/offgrid. And I also have my Patreon. Just do a patreon.com search on Michael Bunker. All right, if you got questions, get them in there. I just want to let everybody know I'm doing all this, but it really, 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 really helps if people can come alongside and help. In your opinion, what's the best, easiest way to cut firewood if chainsaw use is not available? Every area is different, and you're in Missouri and I'm in Texas. In Texas, there's always, even if you have 5 acres, because we have a lot of mesquite, because we have a lot of oak, there is always enough deadfall to have firewood pretty much year round. We do cut firewood, but it's not really necessary. We went through the whole year last year without cutting any firewood just because there was enough deadfall. So gathering deadfall is one of the best ways to get firewood. The other way is to have a very, very good axe and a good handsaw. Um, and what you want to do is you want to be able to cut trees and branches and all of that now to be harvested in the winter. And so you do the work now, get the stuff drying, cut it up with your handsaw in the winter. You get the warming effect. That's kind of basic, but that's really what you can do. A lot of people neglect wood, the fallen wood, deadfall, just because they're thinking about a stack of firewood. And in reality, you can get a lot of BTUs on really, really dry wood from deadfall, especially here in Texas. It's just everywhere. I have a pasture over here we started to clear, and there's just so much deadfall every year that we can go out there with a wheelbarrow and just gather it up every day. So that's what I do. But if not, lay some stuff down here early in the spring, let it season, and gather it up. Start cutting your firewood with a handsaw in the fall. Chainsaw still works too, though. And I have a battery powered chainsaw. That's a DeWalt, and I can charge when my solar power is working, which it isn't right now. I can charge that DeWalt battery with my solar power, and I can continue to use my chainsaw without gas. If you have questions and comments, put them in there. I'm going to go for a little while longer, and then I got to get to work. I got to go do some things today for myself. And I've been telling you yesterday, I got to put in a garden fence to keep the goats and the sheep out of the garden that we're putting in right now. So hopefully you guys can watch this video, share it with people. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, please like, please watch more of the videos, and please comment. Comments are good too because it adjusts the algorithm so more people get to see it. Comment if you're on there about things you want me to talk about, other videos you want me to do. I'm still planning on a go bag or get out of Dodge bag or something like that. I'm planning on that maybe in the next video, but we'll see. All right, I'm not seeing any comments. Maybe there's some come in, but they haven't come to me yet. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits and get some work done. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate your help. Appreciate your support. Talk to you guys really, really soon.